You called your opponent an existential threat. On a call a week ago, you said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye.
Most importantly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Trump is a threat to this nation.
And with this kind of inspiration, I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Could the Democrats' extreme rhetoric against Donald Trump be the cause of the assassination attempts on his life? Now, several members of the Democrat Party, along with liberal media such as MSNBC, ABC, and NBC, just to name a few, has charged Trump with being a threat to democracy. Not only do they charge Trump, but they also say his followers are somehow out of touch with reality. With President Joe Biden being the sitting president and him calling for his supporters to put Trump in a bullseye, could that be considered a direct order to some maniac or lunatic that wants to prove their loyalty to the Democrat Party? Well, from what it seems from yesterday's assassination attempt, words from such leaders such as Joe Biden and Congresswoman Maxine Waters was more than just a mix of words, as Joe Biden would like us to believe. Yesterday, the FBI arrested attempted assassin Ryan Routh at Trump's Trump International Golf Course in Florida, where Secret Service spoiled Routh's planned attempt on the former president's life. Now, Routh, a supporter of Biden and Harris, he wrote posts on his X account and also went as far as tagging Biden's presidential account, saying that the campaign should be called something like Kadaf, meaning keep an American Democrat and free. Also, democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. That is interesting because Biden and Harris has been sending dog whistles saying that Trump is a threat to democracy. Ryan Routh, much like Biden and Harris, is also a strong supporter of Ukraine. He even traveled to Ukraine to join forces with the Ukrainian army. Here's a video of Routh in Ukraine.
We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
What are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army, but I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience, so they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. We were at a critical juncture in this war where we are sitting on the fence as far as whether good or evil is going to win. You know, right now we're looking at a situation where the world is waning and it's thinking that this is important or not. And we're at a point where, you know, all right, are we going to stand for humanity, for human rights, for everything that is good with the world? Or are we just going to ignore it? Why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that, you know, have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable anywhere, any place. Where do we stand? Do we stand for good? Or do we just not care? I mean, does the world not care? That's the feeling that I wrestle with every day. I'm not sure that the world is as wonderful as I once thought it was.
Now, one thing I want you all to remember is that at the recent ABC News presidential debate, the moderators tried several times to press Trump on the Russia-Ukraine war. Now, David Muir, he especially tried to pin Trump down to whether or not he thinks that Ukraine should win the war. And in the same debate, Kamala Harris spread inflammatory lies about Donald Trump, saying that he said that Putin could do whatever in the hell he wants in Ukraine. Now, ABC moderators, they left that false allegation unfact-checked. I believe this could have added fuel to the fire with an unstable Harris-Biden supporter. Let's watch a few quick video clips from the debate.
Just to clarify in the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now.
Ironic, coincidental, or just a loyal supporter answering the call of his leaders? Well, with 2 assassination attempts on the life of a former U.S. president, you would think that the news media would at least for the moment offer a bit of decorum, but not so fast. The usual leftist media, they couldn't wait to take to the air and blame, shame, and flame Donald Trump at his second failed assassination attempt.
Well, Alex, remember back to the assassination attempt on President Trump's life and how, there was talk of a new tone, and then the Republican convention was, by Trumpian standards, muted, and it did seem like he was, just trying to take it down a few notches, but then by the end of his convention speech, we were kind of back to where we started. So I don't know how long this could, this moment of unity for the country where we come together and we say, I don't want any political opposition to be under threat of violence. It's not okay, any threat of violence, we don't want. I would love for us to have a unity type moment, but I think it's probably going to be pretty fleeting, as we've seen in the past.
But what I do think is appalling is that some outlets such as MSNBC in the U.S. have tried to somehow say that this is Trump's fault for his own rhetoric. And, this is just appalling here.
And commentators on X agreed, saying MSNBC radicalizes mass shooters and then blames Trump. These are demons in human form. And again on NBC News, host Lester Holt was slammed by commentators on X for blaming the assassination attempt on Trump's rhetoric about Springfield, Ohio during the presidential debate.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town. Our Maggie Vespa is in Columbus, Ohio, with more.
And over on CNN, commentator Patrick Bet-Davis slammed the network for its lackluster coverage of the second attempt on Trump in as many months. Australian Senator Holly Hughes has also called out the Democrats for their contribution to creating a toxic environment against Donald Trump, leading to threats of violence.
In the world of media, professional journalists are supposed to report the news in an unbiased manner. But we can all see that the liberal media, they cannot help themselves. They quickly went on unnecessary rants about Trump when there should be a time of healing for the country. The country should be doing whatever to pull together at this moment. No matter who wins the White House in November, we're all going to need to get along together. We're going to have to pull together as a nation. I would like to see the compassion that the Democrats campaign on. This is the time when we need to see that actual compassion in real life. Right now is the time to put politics to the side and consider what would it take to heal a bleeding nation. That's what we should consider at this moment. Now, my takeaways from today's video are as follows. Now, number one, the Democrats' hatred for Donald Trump, it seemed to be stronger than their love for our nation, for our country. Number two, it is my opinion that the attempted assassin, Ryan Routh, was mentally unstable, and it is possible that the inflammatory rhetoric at the ABC debate could have pushed him over the edge. My final takeaway is mainstream media, they have lost their way, and opposed to providing the people with unbiased coverage, they spoon feed us whatever their handlers instruct them to. Now, what do you think about today's video? Leave a comment below on what you think led up to Trump's recent assassination attempt. Also, leave a comment on ways that you think the nation could unify in such a time as this. Thank you for joining today. If you enjoyed today's video, then I also think you will gain value from this video as I expose Tim Walz and Kamala Harris's #1 foreign policy agenda. And believe me, this one will certainly shock you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.